And how's it going, guys, and welcome to the Josh Olufemi channel. We're a group of teachers that want to shore up your video production skills in as little time as possible. Today, Nick Koo is going to show you how to replace actual media within motion graphics templates, otherwise known as Mogrts. Now remember, before, you could only replace the text. Nick, the floor is yours.
G'day everyone, thanks Josh for that amazing intro. Look, I just want to get into something that's very exciting. I was just browsing through the After Effects update for March 2021, as you can see here. And look, something really interesting dropped, and this is something that I've been talking about for a little bit now. They've updated the motion graphics template in After Effects, or Mogrts as we like to call them, and they've actually updated them in a really big way. And speaking of graphic templates, I wanted to let you know about a really awesome product that we've developed called the Lyric Video Creator Kit, designed to help you create lyric videos fast in Adobe Premiere. 22 animated presets, 10 overlay videos, 5 Premiere starter projects. And best of all, no After Effects skills necessary. Just drop these templates into your Essential Graphics panel and you are good to go. We even have a 30-minute masterclass to help you get started. So what are you waiting for? Grab your copy today and start making your own lyric videos. Let's dive over to Premiere here for a second. Now look, this is a template that I made myself. It's kind of like a mock-up beach show opener for something. Who knows what it would be, but you can kind of see here there's 3 bits of footage here. There's 1, 2, 3 pieces of footage, and obviously with the text. And with Mogrts, obviously you can change the name of the show. I mean, it could be like Beach Life, who knows, or Life with a Y, because, you know, that's how people do it. Beach Life and, you know, Beach Life Bondi. You get the idea. But look, there's all the general stuff here. You can change all the things. Bondi is the best beach. Fight me. I don't know. It's not a bad beach anyway. Okay, so you've got this template and it looks great, but look, your boss basically comes along and says, look, actually, we want to change it up a little bit. We want to be a lot less blue, and we kind of would love a shot of, say, for example, the lifeguard tower instead. So let's go in here and we'll replace clip 2 here. So what we'll do is we'll just click, not even right click, we click on these little triple hamburger thing, and we go replace from Finder. Let's have a go in here and have a look around. So we've got a couple of things we'll replace it with. We've got this girl running. Oh look, we've got a lifeguard thing. So let's replace it with that. And we'll just replace it, and voila, it has been updated. All right, I just finished recording the tutorial and I just realized there's an even easier way to replace the clips. So it's almost as easy as, I kind of kicking myself that I didn't realize this earlier, but it's as simple as this. You just drag the clip into this bit, you know, into the replacement things, and it's pretty much as easy as that. I mean, I didn't realize it was kind of that simple, which is kind of great, you know, like you just drag it in and it's really kind of intuitive. I kind of like it. Anyway, let's go back to the tube. Now, what's really cool about this too is that you can actually move this around within the space itself. So we've got these XY coordinates we can move around. So if you don't like it where it is, you can kind of move it around a little bit just so you can reposition it. So the word lifeguard comes in the shot. I actually don't know where the edge of the clip is here, but let's hope that it actually can. We've got a little bit of latitude here, which is kind of nice. So maybe we can get it so the word lifeguard is in frame. So that's kind of cool. And also likewise, we can replace the background if we don't like that shot with something, you know. Well, we got Santa Monica Beach here, but we can replace it with anything. Let's pick this one. I think this beach is Santa Monica Beach, but you know, or we can even replace it with the shot we had before. So let's do that. And so we've got a bit of a slightly different look here. And likewise, we can change even the image in the circle, which is kind of cool. So we don't want a guy, we want a maybe a guy at sunset, which would be kind of a bit more interesting for some people. And obviously you can move that around as well. I mean, look, it's what's really great about this is that the way we could muck around with this is potentially endless till we get basically what we want. And the fact that you can basically change things out and do this quickly now means that you can set up a template and you can use this intro for pretty much anything. It makes it that easy. I mean, you can imagine if you're doing a TV show and you got to do different versions around the world, you could do versions in different places. So for example, we want to go to, say, you know, make it a California show. Let's change this out with, let's do a California version and let's go to Santa Monica instead. So let's pick a nice shot of Santa Monica. Let's see. That's probably a better version. Oh, we'll use that as the background. So let's use this as I'm trying to figure out what I want to use as the background. Maybe we can use that shot as the background. Use it for, there we go, Santa Monica in the foreground element, which is kind of nice. It works well with that dude. And then we'll replace the background with the actual beach itself. Let's pick. So that's very nice sunset. And of course, you just change it to Santa Monica. Beach Rescue. And that's pretty much as easy as it is. And what's really great is that it does inherit all the properties of the effects that you can stack, most of them. Like, there are a couple limitations on what effects you can stack on. We'll go into that a little bit, but you can stack it on quite a bit. Like, we've got a bit of the Gaussian blur here, so you can actually see if we want to blur out even more, we can turn up that Gaussian blur a lot, or we can just turn it straight off. Likewise, with the background, we can turn that straight on, leave it straight off, and we'll see it again. It's just nice that you can kind of put those effects in there, basically, which is kind of fun. And again, like, if you don't even want to do a beach thing, my goodness, let's do it one more time. Let's try this out. We'll go to a snow theme. We'll replace the main character with this guy. Let's try and reposition them in so they're in a bit of a better place. There we go. Let's change out the going down the hill, maybe that one. And then we'll replace the background one with, I swear I had, there we go, mountain one there, which is quite nice. And we'll call this Snow Trip. And I don't know, where should we put it? Switzerland. And that's how easy it is. I mean, you can imagine, like, this is kind of ridiculous how easy it is to just kind of do stuff like this. And that's kind of nice. Like, it's become that easy now. And you can make some you can imagine you can make some really complex stuff doing this thing, putting some really nice effects in here, really making it your own in that regard. I mean, once we get color correction, a lot more color correction tools in here, I mean, we could really go to town on this thing. And, you know, we've gone from going from a beach thing to basically doing this in motion graphics. I'm going to dive in and show you how to set a template like this up. So just hang tight and we'll go over to After Effects. Feel like I'm at the tippy top of my game, looking down at the rafters. Alrighty, so here we are in After Effects. This is the actual Essential Graphics panel here. If you don't already know how to set one of these up, I mean, I'll go through it. I'm going to pretend like you guys don't know how to set one of these up, but it's pretty straightforward. So I'm going to go through the whole process with you. I'm going to delete it all and just show you how to do it all from the start. So I'm not going to go into how to actually make an After Effects comp. I'm assuming you have a little bit of background knowledge, but for everybody who doesn't know how to use Essential Graphics, I'm going to show you basically how to use the panel. So this is obviously in After Effects 2021. It's not going to work in After Effects 2020. It's basically the latest version. So let's go through and delete everything that's here. We'll just make this a clean slate. So I'm just going to get rid of all this goodness. All right. So now you've just got a comp, and this Essential Graphics panel is pretty easy to find. All you have to go is to Window and then go to Essential Graphics, which is right here. If it's not ticked, it'll pop up somewhere, and just dock it. It'll probably dock kind of right next to this window here, which is kind of the default. And it's pretty easy to find. So if you have any trouble, just let me know. Anyway, so here we go. So we're going to find the text here. So this is the two titles. I should probably relabel. This is the subtext, and this is the main text. All right. Here we go. So what we're going to do is twirl down, and we're going to get the main text first. So we're going to find the word source text, and we're going to drag that up, and then we're just going to rename this main text. And if you want to be able to change the font and stuff later in the template, you want to be able to turn this on. So go edit properties and go click all these and just go OK. And there you go. If you want to let the user change the font and stuff, you can let them do it here. Likewise, if we want to go the subtext, which is that little section here where it says Bondi, we're going to drag that up, and we're going to do exactly the same thing. We're going to call this subtext. Oops, if I can type text, and we're going to go, all right. Now that's pretty easy. You guys already know how to kind of do that stuff if you've already done it before. Now here's the new stuff. We're going to double click here. So what I've done here is I've actually nested the footage inside containers here because I thought that might be a little bit easier. That also means that you can kind of use footage. As you can see here, I've kind of used the footage twice in different sections so I could get different kind of animations going on. So it just means that if you update one, it'll update the other. So that's why I put it in containers to kind of make it a little bit easier to move things around. So let's double click into footage 1 and we're just going to drag this up here. And this is where it's kind of fun. This is footage 1. So we'll call this clip 1. It's obviously good to label these things because you want to make sure that people understand what they're, what footage they're actually changing. We're actually going to we'll double click into footage 2 and we'll drag this up here and we'll call this clip 2. And we'll go back to the test comp and go to footage 3 and we'll drag this up. And this is clip 3. Now I like to kind of label it a bit more obvious than this. So we'll call this background. We'll call this foreground. Oops. Always nice to organize your layers. It's also for your own benefit as well. And we'll call this circle so people know which bits you need to replace. And that's pretty much as easy as it is. So once you set that up, I mean, you can basically make that's your template effectively. If you wanted to add the blur parameters, I've got some blur effects on here. So as you can see here, there's a Gaussian blur on here that you can absolutely turn up, which it already is. And go to the blurriness stopwatch and just drag that. We'll just drag that underneath clip 3. And we'll call this clip 3 blur. And let's go to the next one and go to this effect and go Gaussian blur and drag that underneath clip 2. Sorry, I meant this blurriness and drag it underneath clip 2. As you can see, it won't actually let you add the property if it's not something you can add. So clip 2 blur. All right, so now we've got those 3 clips in there. That's looking pretty good. As you can see here, as we turn the blurriness up, it'll actually turn up the blurriness there as well. You can even add other things too. Like if you want to adjust the way that for example, I've got a grade here with the lumetri color look. If you go here to creative, I've actually got a whole bunch of, different kinds of looks that you can kind of get here, but you can only kind of change that within the, After Effects, unfortunately. So once it's set, it is set. But you can let it influence by adjusting the opacity here. So, or we can even use the intensity to actually adjust how intense we want it to look. So for example, if we want to adjust the intensity of the look, we can actually drag the intensity up here. So that's kind of cool. So grade intensity. So let's do that and let's see what happens. So like what that means is like we can actually make the grade more intense or even less intense than that. So that's kind of a fun way to do it. I mean, we could even drag some other parameters in here. So for example, if you wanted to make the saturation a little bit more on some of this stuff, we can drag saturation here. So footage saturation. And if we want to like really bump up those colors, we can. And we can even dial the intensity down the grade, or we can just make it like black and white even, I think. And there you go, which is kind of fun. We can even put individual parameters on each of these things. So like I said, there's a lot of stuff we can do here to really, really make this pop. And once you set that template up, you can just bring that out into Premiere and you can let whoever's using it go to town basically. To do whatever they like effectively. And that's what's kind of great about it. It's all driven by footage. So that's kind of great. So once you've gone setting this up, let's go to export motion graphics template and we'll just click on that. And you obviously got to save first. All right. We're going to pick a location. So we're going to browse. I've already got a location set up, Mogrts update, and we'll make a folder called Mogrts and we go beach intro, Mogrt. Replace the old one we have. So we'll go save and we'll go, okay. All right, once we're done, we're going to go out to Premiere and see how we can import it. Feel like I'm at the top of my game, looking down at the rafters. I had the sunny. All right, here we are back in Premiere. We'll just delete this. So I'll just show you how to import the actual thing itself. So we got to browse. Here we are. That's the template originally. So we go to this little button down here and go, ooh, and look for our thing. We found it. wherever you saved it, which is in the Mogrts folder that I showed you before, and go open. And just, we're going to confirm that we're going to write over the one we had before. But if you didn't have it before, you'll just come in clean. And I was going to type the word beach because that's what I called it. And we'll just drag it in. Now, the only thing you have to realize is you can drag this template out, but it does do some funky things to your footage. So that's one of the kind of limitations I think you have with Mogrts, is that you got to realize that it will try and time stretch your stuff. So for example, it goes up to like 5 seconds and 16 frames, right? But watch this. So it plays back in kind of proper time, but once you start time stretching things out, it'll start slowing things down like by itself. So maybe that's a look you want to go for, but I personally think that's kind of not what you want. Ideally, you would have done a protected area for the whole thing, but I think that's, well, I don't know. You can let people get that option if they want. But just be aware that you can kind of mess it up that way. So yeah, that is the new Mogrts in a nutshell, and it's really great. It's actually going to save all of us a lot of time, and your clients you can pass this stuff on to. It's going to be really great for them. You can just spend time making the template itself, and if they need iterations, they can go and self-serve themselves and basically slot in their own footage if they want. It's really great because it just means that you can also do iterations really quickly now. You don't have to dive into the After Effects project every time. You can just do it in Premiere, and that's going to save you tons of time. Anyway, guys, I hope that's been useful. Thanks for listening. And of course, if you got any questions or comments, please let me know and I'm happy to answer them. And guys, if you want to find out anything else that's happening with me, you can go to nickbenq_motion on Instagram. You can ask me questions. We can have a little chat. I will answer.
Shout out to Nick, yet another incredible tutorial. Please make sure to like this video, share it, subscribe to the channel, and remember you can download the project file in the link below. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and as always, remember to keep it chill.